Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Husqvarna T435 top panel chainsaw. Customer complaint. Well, it's not that he couldn't get the gas cap off. Customer complaint is that it just doesn't want to run, won't stay running. Something ain't right. I don't think the customer is telling me the whole story either. So first thing we're going to do is look inside the fuel tank. Fish out the fuel line and filter. Filter looks really good. Let's put 10 pounds of pressure on that fuel line and see if it's got a hole in it. Yeah, it ain't going to work unless you switch the gauge from vacuum to pressure. Alright, it's holding 10 pounds of pressure. That means the fuel line itself is good. There's no leaks in the carburetor. We'll put everything back and we'll move on to the next thing. So let's take a look at that spark plug. There's a single screw that holds a protective cover over the spark plug. We'll get that screw out of the way. Slide that cover off. Go ahead, slide the cover off. Kind of sticky. Off comes our spark plug boot. And then you're going to need, if you're using a scrunch, you're going to need one that's kind of deep to reach in there and grab that spark plug. Which, this one is really tight. Alright, let's see what our spark plug looks like. Looks pretty good, actually. We're going to look inside the cylinder now, and we're going to make sure that there's no physical damage inside. No scoring of the cylinder. Everything looks nice and clean inside there. No vertical lines in the cylinder wall. So let's put the spark plug back in and check that one off the list. There you go. So we said it doesn't want to run right. It looks like we have good fuel. Looks like the cylinder is clean. I didn't test for spark. I already know that the saw pops and kind of wants to run. I mean, the air filter looks good. There's no problems there. Looks like the throttle linkage all works good. Let's see if this thing's going to run. Yeah, it's just kind of boggy. Doesn't want to stay running. It died on its own. What do you think the problem might be? Why would I be looking underneath there? There's nothing under there but maybe the intake boot. There, I was just checking the anti-vibe mounts to see how much flex there was between the two halves of the saw. So let's get a little bit closer look at that. I'm going to have to remove the starter. Look at him go. And our fan shroud. I mean, everything looks good here so far. But let's look at that intake boot a little bit closer. Now, from that angle, there was no way that I was going to be able to show you what the problem is. So we're going to have to remove the carburetor so I can show you. There's two screws that hold the air filter holder in place to bolt the carburetor down. And one other screw that holds the carburetor assembly in place. Now we got the carb popped out of there. That throttle linkage, it can be done. You can wiggle this around and unhook the linkage. So, do you see our problem yet? Our intake boot, it's pulled out. It's supposed to be sitting in front of this plastic lip here where I got the screwdriver. But it actually pulled through. I mean, with the carburetor bolted on there, it pulled through. That means that he pinched the saw and yanked on the handle or something like that. That he physically stretched the anti-vibe springs to the point where the intake boot wouldn't stretch any further, and it pulled out from behind the carburetor. I've seen this happen before, and it almost always happens just like this one. Intake boot is just fine. It just pulled out. We'll get it put back together, and this saw is going to work perfectly. The tricky part is, I mean, you know, I'm going at this thing with a needle nose and a plastic pry bar, right? I'm not too worried about the plastic pry bar, but you got to be careful with that needle nose. You could damage the boot, and then there'd be a lot more work involved in this repair. So, prying from the front or pushing from the back, whatever you got to do to gently get that boot back into place. Kind of trying to get behind it a little bit. You know, it's going to go back to its natural form once it's in place where it belongs. Oh, there, that looks a lot better. Now if we remove this screw, that's going to give us a little bit of play in that throttle rod and make it a lot easier to get it hooked back up to the carburetor. This guy's got to figure out which way is up on that carburetor first. Let's get that screw back in there before we forget about it. Alright, now we're just getting the carburetor lined up. Making sure everything's in place. And then we can bolt our, what do you call it? Our air filter holder. We can bolt that in place. There it is. Now you might have noticed when I hit the trigger there that the throttle linkage was pushing on the fuel line. Now we're not going to be able to leave it that way. Look at that. Linkage is hitting the fuel line. So we're going to have to reroute that fuel line a little bit. That looks a lot better. Now nothing's touching the linkage. We'll pop our air filter open and blow it out from the inside out. But there's still a screw laying on the bench. At this point, I don't notice that screw sitting there. Alright, so we put the rubber part of the air filter over the carburetor, push down a little bit, and then we can get it to roll in underneath that hard plastic intake. Then we'll get our air filter cover on and see if this thing runs. Well, I ain't gonna run if I don't have a starter on it. So that anti-vibe spring right there, that's the one that stretched. And after the fact, I'll have to replace that spring. But before then, we're going to try and fire this up and see if it works. This spring down here, it's got a locating pin in it, so it only stretched so far. I think the one on top might have a limiting strap. If it doesn't, it sure should. Alright, we're just cleaning the parts up before we put them back on. And we'll screw our starter down. That screw is still sitting on the bench. Just realized where that screw goes. Alright, now our repair is complete. So that's all I'm going to have for you on the Husqvarna T435 top panel chainsaw. It didn't run so good after the anti-vibe spring stretched beyond their limits. Thanks for watching. Later.